If you're on the path to 10K a month with your AI automation or system agency, you need the right tools in your setup. And I get asked this almost every day. Saad, what tools do I actually need to start and how much is this really gonna cost me? And I get it because when I first got started, I had no clue what was essential and what wasn't. At what point I was spending more on software than I was making. Think $400 to $500 a month on tools while barely making $300. So it didn't really make sense. So in this video, I want to break it down properly, not just some vague startup pack, but the actual tools, the real prices, and what you should expect to invest and adding it all up with you. And I'm also going to show you guys an underground way to get AI credits for free so you can start without overspending. Because here's the thing, most gurus will tell you just start with the basics, but they will never tell you what that actually means in dollars. So let's get into it. So a couple things you guys need to consider. The first thing is tools are important, but they're not magic. What they do is they just make the process easier and more efficient for you, but they don't do the work for you, obviously, right? The next thing is you're building a real business at the end of the day. And there is no business out there with $0 in startup costs. Because we all know, right? You already know this. Most companies cost thousands of dollars in capital to begin with, but yours will be a couple $100s, okay? The third thing is you want to be affordable, but not cheap, okay? Affordable, but not cheap. Because going cheap just means you're setting yourself up to fail. And think about it this way. Time costs more than money, okay? So a cheap tool that takes 3 hours to do what a good tool does in 30 minutes just means you're paying with your time instead of money. And your time is 10 times more, okay? So the first thing we want to talk about is the infrastructure, okay? So let me pick a diagram shape, and then I'm going to walk you guys through everything. Let's make this bold, okay? There we go. So infrastructure. Now, obviously, you will reach out to business owners, companies to sell them your AI services, sales systems, automations, whatever. Okay, so you need a good infrastructure. And I like to use the analogy of the ship. Think about it like you are a sailor on a journey to become successful. You need a strong ship. Okay, now since we're doing outreach, right, we are reaching out to thousands of people a day. And in order for us to do this, well, we need multiple emails and domains for outreach. Okay. Now I'm gonna walk you guys through the best platforms to go for, the most affordable ones based on what's working right now inside my 165K a month agency. Because there's a lot of noise in this space. People say buy from here. No, don't buy from here. So I'm gonna give you guys the best platforms to go for. Okay. So where to get emails and domains for outreach. Now there's multiple platforms and I'm going to walk you guys through 3. These are the best ones that I recommend. The first one is Premium Inboxes. You have another platform, it's called Inboxology, and another platform, it's called Puzzle Inbox. Okay, so Puzzle Inbox. Now let's just go through Premium Inboxes and walk you guys through the pricing. So the pricing is, I believe it's $3 per inbox. Okay, so $3.50 per inbox. Okay, so 3.5. And then let's check Inboxology. Inboxology. I believe it's the same price. Let's go to pricing. Okay, $3.50. Okay, same thing. So $3.50 per inbox. So per inbox. Per inbox. Let's go to the third platform, which is Puzzle Inbox, and see. So they recently changed their UI. It looks really good. Under 200, so it's less. So $2.50. So $2.50 per inbox. Okay. Now, these are the platforms I recommend you guys go for to buy your inboxes. So now you might be thinking, Saad, well, how many inboxes do I need now? Well, you need around 15 to 20 inboxes. This is like my recommendation. But we can go to a sweet spot, which is going to be 15 inboxes. So 15 inboxes, which is going to be, so assuming you want to go for Puzzle Inbox, so 2.5 times 15, so it's $37. We can just go for $38. So $38 in terms of inboxes. Okay. Now, when you buy these emails, right, from these providers, you typically need to go through the warm-up process. And a warm up process essentially is just like a period where your cold email software, we're going to talk about it later on. So your cold email software just emulates a normal sending behavior. So what they do is they send emails using your inbox, and then there's like a server on their behalf that replies to that email just to signal to the ESPs, which is email service providers, that you are a real person and you're actually sending emails. So they do this gradually, okay, every single day. For example, the first day they send 5 emails, they reply to 3. Second day, for example, they send 10 emails and they reply to 4. And then that way, these email service providers, they look at the email, right? And they're like, okay, this person sends emails, they're receiving replies, so it's not a spammer, okay? So this is how it works under the hood. And this process usually takes 14 to 21 days before you can actually just start sending. Now, let's say you want to bypass this. You don't want to wait 14 to 21 days. Well, the best platform to go for when you want to get, it's called pre-warmed up emails. It's Puzzle Inbox. So I forgot to add this here. You can get normal inboxes plus pre-warmed up inboxes. Okay. So if we go to a Puzzle Inbox, we can go to warmed. You see warmed? So $3.2. Let's say you want to go for 15. So 3.2 times 15. Well, it's $48. Okay. So we can do normal inboxes, or normal 15 inboxes is $38. And then pre-warmed up inboxes, well, it's 48. Yeah, 48. Okay. So this is depending on your personal experience. If you want to get up and running as quickly as possible, get the pre-warmed up inboxes, which is going to be $48. If you want to get the normal inboxes, just wait 14 to 21 days. It's going to cost you $38. Okay. So these are the platforms that you're going to need in terms of like infrastructure. All right. Now let's talk about lead sourcing, because obviously we're doing systematic outreach. We're not bidding on jobs on Upwork. We're picking our customer off the internet and closing them. Think about how cool that is, right? So obviously you need a lead sourcing database, which is going to be either Apollo. Now Apollo, no need to pay for it. I should say never pay for it, because I think it's sort of dumb to pay for Apollo because you can scrape Apollo. There's also LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Okay. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is paid, but you can get a free trial if you go to LinkedIn Sales Nav free trial. They give you 30 days. Okay, I already redeemed mine. So you can go to LinkedIn and you can start your free trial. It's 30 days. Okay. All right. Let's close all these tabs right now. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There's also a great platform called Crunchbase. Again, never pay for it. It's free. They give you 7 days free trial. Okay, so Apollo, LinkedIn Sales Nav, and Crunchbase. Okay. Now, from these platforms, the only ones that are paid is LinkedIn Sales Nav and Crunchbase, but they both provide free trials. And I would recommend like paying for Crunchbase over LinkedIn Sales Navigator unless like you're doing like high volume outreach, which you can do later on, okay? But not now, okay? So Crunchbase, LinkedIn, and Apollo, right? Now, the cool part is we can scrape these platforms, okay? So the way we're going to scrape them is using Apify, okay? So Apify is basically like a marketplace for scrapers. Now, Apify is necessary because without it, you won't be able to get leads, okay? Now, you want to go to Apify, and the plan that you want to go for is this one, Starter. Okay, so the starter plan, it's $39. So $39, right? So in order for you to scrape Apollo, you want to use this scraper. So scrape up to 50K leads. Now the cool part is it's only $1.20 per 1,000 leads. Now when you go and get the starter plan, you're gonna notice that you will have here $39. So essentially it's kind of like topping up on a video game. Okay, you top up and then you use those credits. Okay, so you can essentially scrape, for example, 5,000 leads for like $5, which is extremely affordable, right? So this is the one. I'm going to copy this and put it here to scrape Apollo. Use this. Okay. So it's a pay per lead. Now, the second thing, let's say you want to scrape LinkedIn Sales Nav. Sales Nav. So LinkedIn Sales Nav, you want to use this scraper right here. Let's go to Actors, LinkedIn Sales Nav from Curious Coder. This is the one. This is the best platform you can use because you can rent it. And I already rented this. Essentially, they give you like probably like 3 days for free, and you can scrape LinkedIn Sales Nav daily. So you can scrape, for example, 5K today, the next day 5K, the third day 5K. So you're at 15K leads. Okay. An alternative platform you can use too, it's Phantom Buster. Okay. And essentially how it works is that they give you execution based of time. If you're wondering how much it costs, let's go to upgrade. So monthly billing is $69. This is more expensive than LinkedIn Sales Nav. As you can see, if you really want to pay for LinkedIn Sales Nav, it's $39 per month. This one is $69. So go for LinkedIn Sales Navigator Scraper in Amplify. It's more affordable. Okay, this is assuming you want to scrape LinkedIn. But my recommendation, just stick to Apollo, because if you guys don't know, Apollo pulls leads from LinkedIn. Okay, this is how they do it. They pull leads from LinkedIn under the hood. Okay. So this is the one, I'm gonna copy it and put it here. But my recommendation, always go for Apollo. Okay, it's the most straightforward, most affordable to get your first, second, and third clients. Okay. Now let's talk about Crunchbase. Let's go back here and then let's go to console. And then this is the scraper that I recommend you guys go for. It's Crunchbase. Ultimate Crunchbase Scraper. So again, it's a paper result. 1,000 leads for $5. Okay, so a little bit more than Apollo. Okay, I'm gonna copy it and put it here. So Crunchbase and put it here. So we covered lead sourcing. So in total, we have 48 plus 39. Okay, now let's talk about AI credits. Because in order for you to generate any sort of copy or like personalization, well, you need AI. Now, unfortunately, AI is quite expensive, but I'm going to give you guys a way to get free AI. Okay. So this platform is Gemini. You guys know the AI model Gemini. So Gemini, you can get $300 free. Okay. With an API key. And let me walk you guys through the link that I have here. So I'm going to go to this website here, and then I'm going to redeem it in front of you. So there we go. You get $300 in free credits. So get started for free. So agree and continue. And then I'm going to have to plug my credit card, I believe. There's no charge. So no automatic charge. You get $300 over the next 90 days, which is awesome. So add a payment method, add a credit card. And as much as I'd want to show my credit card, I'm not going to do it. So welcome to the hub. You want to go to, you see this free trial status? You want to click on activate. Activate. So there we go. Your account was activated successfully, and then click on continue. Okay, so now you want to go to AI Studio, Google. And it's going to be, this is the one. So get your developer key, get started. There we go. It's already logged in. So you're going to click on get your API key and boom. And there we go. Now you can use it. You want to click on create API key. And then let's just pick a random project here. Create API key. And then boom, you have your API key. Now you can use it in N8N, for example, or like Make. Go to make.com. So let's create a new scenario. And then look for Gemini. So Google Gemini, create a completion, create a connection, add this here. Like basically paste your API key and boom. So there we go. You have access to the latest models. There you go. You have now $300 in free credits. Congrats. All right. So Gemini free. Now it's done. Okay. We got this out of the way. Now we need another thing. Okay. Which is going to be your cold email software. Obviously to send your outreach messages to people that might be interested. Okay. So this is going to be cold email software. Now there's multiple ones. Never go for Lemless. Let me zoom in. So never go for Lemless. Never go for Smart Lead. Go for Instantly. That's like the best platform to send emails. There's new ones like Plus5, but always go for instantly. It's just the OG. Okay. If you're wondering how much it costs, um, you want to go to pricing and then you want to go for monthly, make sure it's outreach and go to monthly and get the hyper growth, because think about it, like it's unlimited email accounts, unlimited email warm up, and you can upload 25,000 leads and you can send 100,000 emails monthly. If you decide to go to growth, it's only 1,000 leads, right? It's 1,000 leads. It's nothing, right? It's only 5,000 emails monthly. You want to go for the hyper growth. Okay. So $97. So smart, not smart lad. That's a stupid name. Smart lead. Limbless. Go for instantly is going to be $97. Okay. Now, all right. The next thing we want to talk about is email enrichment platforms. Okay. Now, these are necessary, very necessary, because when you scrape the leads from either Apollo, LinkedIn, Crunchbase, okay? You need to verify the emails, okay? And the reason why you want to verify the emails, because these platforms, the data is not always going to be accurate, okay? They pull it from aggregators, like I said, from LinkedIn, but sometimes people change jobs, like there's multiple things, okay? So you want to verify that the emails actually exist, okay? So the platforms that I recommend, let's make this email enrichment. The platforms that I recommend are going to be in email finder. Now, this one is a little bit pricey. If you go to pricing monthly, you want to go for example, the 2K, it's around $89. There's also Prospeo, I believe. Prospeo. Yeah, this is the one. Same pricing. This is if you want to find the emails. Okay, monthly, $39, 1,000 credits. There's also I believe it's Hunter.io. Also same pricing. If we go here, monthly, yeah, $49. There's another one, it's called Mail Tester Ninja. Extremely cheap and affordable. If you go to unlimited, it's around $7 to verify emails. So these are the platforms that I highly recommend. As you can see, these email enrichment platforms are quite expensive, which is the reason why I came up with my own platform. Because I mean, think about it. Any mail finder is $400, and we already have a cost of $97 so far. We have the $39 here, and we have the pre-warmed up inboxes or normal inboxes. So it's around, let's say you want to go for pre-warmed up inboxes. So 48 plus 39 plus 97, so 184. Assuming you want to go for any mail finder, which is, let's go to any mail finder. So monthly, let's say you want to go for $89. So you have 39 plus 38, which is 77, and then you want to add 149, which is the email finder, and you also have the instantly, which is now it's $323. Okay, so it's pretty hefty. So it's $323. So the cost is higher, which is the reason why I came up with this platform, okay? Which is basically verifying emails for free. And I think this is the most amount of value that people get, because I wanted to remove the cost for people so they can actually focus on doing the work, because that's what's important, right? Not nerding out about tools. So this is the reason why I built this platform. It's called SSM Masters. So I can essentially just slash this $149, okay? Because it's monthly, okay? And if you're wondering how it works, for example, let me go to the backend to show you guys how it works. For example, if I go here and then I'll sign in using my account, and let's say I have a list, for example, when I verify an email, I go to bulk upload. For example, I have a list, I can start verification, and then I'll just have to wait a little bit and then I'll get the results. So there we go. Took us like a couple seconds, and then 50% complete. You see all the emails that are valid. And then the cool part is you can just click download and you get the verified results. And the cool part is when you put, for example, in the sheets, first name, last name, company name, because when you scrape, you're going to get all the data. Some email enrichment platforms, they only give you the verified emails, and you have to like manually match pattern that on Google Sheets, which is super annoying. So when I spoke to the developers that actually built this, I was like, make sure the data stays consistent, because this is a hassle. So this is how you use it. You can also go to, for example, create email, and then let's find my email. For example, let's put myoprocess.com. So there we go. We found my email and I can click boom. And there we go. I can essentially just download the CSV. We also have the API management, which is basically documentation. Like this is the curl requests, whatever. If you want to use it, so using make or like NA10. So there we go. Email enrichment platform and email finder. So it's 149. Let's say you want to go for Mail Tester Ninja. Mail Tester Ninja is just for verifying the emails. Okay, just a heads up, not finding the emails. Okay, so it is around $7. Okay, $7, and Hunter it's around the same price. Yeah, $149 both. Okay. So now let's see how much it costs for everything. So let's calculate again. So okay, so the total we have here. Let's put it here. Total, so 48 plus 39 plus 97 plus 149. So like I said, 48, 39 is basically 77, and then we have 97 plus 149, so $323. Okay. Let's say you don't want to use any mail finder. You can totally use Mail Tester Ninja, but again, when you use Mail Tester Ninja, it only verifies the emails. It doesn't find the emails. So let's say you want to slash this, and then you want to use the $7 one. So probably around $200, I believe. Yeah, so around $200. Okay, so $200. That's still pretty good, right? That's still the most affordable way to get clients. I mean, think about it. Let's actually do the math, okay? Let's say you send, for example, 3,000, or let's just do 3,000 emails, and you get, for example, 2% reply rate. Okay, so 60 responses. Obviously, not only response is going to be positive, so 60. Let's assume only 30% is actually positive. So 18 replies. Okay, so 18 replies, and then so 18 replies are positive. Let's say only 50% is willing to hop on a call. So 9 booked meetings. Let's say you're not really good at sales calls, and then you only close your close rate like 20%. So you can close 1 to 2 deals that are around 2K. Okay. So think about this. Like, from $200, you close 1 to 2 deals worth that are $2,000. I can't think of any client acquisition method that allows you to get this much ROI, this much return on investment. And assuming you want to do Upwork, well, obviously you're going to have to bid every single day. And the worst thing about it is that you're bidding and someone can just bid more than you, and like your proposal is not even seen by the client that posted the job. This is the reason why I don't like Upwork. Okay, so you're spending money, but there's no guaranteed result. There's no guaranteed outcome or payoff from that money. Okay, which is the reason why I built my entire business based off this. Okay, and I sold my sales systems, my sales automation using outreach. Okay, so I highly recommend you guys go for this just to save you time, energy, and also the headaches. Okay, so there we go, guys. We tackled everything. Make sure to use the $300 from Gemini. As you can see, we just redeemed it. So go for it. This is all the platforms that you need. Other things are just noise, okay? This is exactly what I would do if I wanted to get started this week and get a couple clients, okay? So right now, we have all the tools. You know the pricing. The only thing you have to do is simply just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.